So here we're talking sciatic pain. The sciatic nerve runs right in the back of the glute, and you have a muscle called your piriformis that overlays it. During pregnancy, your pelvis does a lot of shifting, which can cause compression of that nerve, translating into sciatic and lower leg pain. Coupled with that is also sometimes some lateral hip pain because you're laying on your side during pregnancy. You can't lay on your back. So here's some easy stretches you can do at home for sciatica. Number one, you're going to sit on something to stabilize. This is not the time to be on your ball. So if I'm working my right glute here, my right piriformis, I'm going to cross figure 4. This is really nice because belly has a lot of room, a lot of space. You're going to take the other hand, your right hand, push your knee down, keep your chest up nice and long, and almost like there's a string in your sternum, lean forward. You don't want to hinge because you won't get a good enough stretch. You want to pull forward from your sternum, and you'll get a nice pull in that lower piriformis, lower glute on that right side, and then do both sides. Option 2, while you're here, and as belly gets bigger, you might have to modify a little bit, but what you can do is pull your knee in towards your chest, again, keeping that chest nice and long. You don't want to have your back supported because you won't get enough of a pull. Pull in towards your chest, rotate towards the knee that you're pulling. This might feel different than the previous stretch, but also good for that low piriformis sciatic region. Another option for sciatic pain, get your wedge. Mamas, you don't want to be laying flat on your back, so the wedge is a really great tool, one of our favorites. You're going to butt up nice and tight, lean back. If you don't have a wedge, prop up a bunch of pillows, you'll get a similar stretch. This leg, so I'm stretching my left side, is going to rotate over, letting it just fall. This gives me a really good stretch in through here. I'm propped up, belly's here, getting that side body stretch, getting into that glute, into that piriformis muscle. You can even just let it hang long, rest, be here for a few moments. Really nice for that back, that part of your pelvis. Next up, grabbing our ball, which we love. Option 1, if you don't have a ball, you can use a table or an ottoman or a couch even. If you do have a ball, keep your shoulders nice and long. This is going to be, again, that piriformis muscle in the back for that sciatic and low back pain. Stretch out nice and long, keep the booty up, and drop in this way. You can even go side to side, targeting different parts of that tailbone, but getting a really nice stretch in that low part of the pelvis in through there. Again, if you've got a table and you don't have a ball, get up on here, sink nice and low. If you're feeling a little lazy and you want a little less shoulders, get closer and do the same thing, dropping side to side. Really nice in addition to this is something simple like a cat-cow. So get on all fours, keep that booty up nice and high. We're gonna arch upward towards the ceiling, getting some length, and then we're gonna round, really pushing through our hands, rounding up into that thoracic spine, into that low back, creating some extension in through that pelvis, helping reduce those symptoms. Everything in the pelvis is connected. So if we're gonna do the back, we have to do the front. So number 1, runner's lunge. We're gonna get right next to something to stabilize ourselves. Knee nice and long. You don't wanna start here because you wanna end up at 90 degrees. Knee's gonna be nice and long, chest up high. We're gonna sink forward. Knee ends up at 90 degrees. Again, I'm holding on to something to stabilize. Opposite hand goes to the knee. We're gonna push away and look over our opposite shoulder. This gets a lot of length right here in this left hip flexor, which is what I'm stretching at the moment. And you can sink in even further as you get deeper into the stretch. Couple different ways to do this if that doesn't suit you, if you have knee pain. Something about, again, the level of your knee. Maybe it's a sofa, maybe it's an ottoman. I'll do the opposite side for visual. Stabilize yourself here. Leg goes up. Take a nice step forward so you feel nice and stable. You want to square your pelvis as best you can. Hand goes here for support. And you're going to rotate opposite the muscle you're stretching. So in this case, my right side is getting that nice long stretch. If that doesn't suit you, you can go to a wall. I suggest you stabilize yourself with something here because we don't want you toppling over. The knee is going to go, one leg is going to go behind the other. So in this case, I'm stretching my left side. My upper arm is going to go over and I'm going to lengthen in through here, feeling that stretch again in that hip flexor, in this case on the left side. Here are a couple of easy low back stretches for women that are not pregnant. So number 1, you're going to lay flat on your back like so. Cross one knee over the other and bringing that knee towards your chest, you're going to reach between that figure 4, pull that knee towards your chest, and you'll get a really nice deep stretch in that, in my case, left glute. Really easy to get some nice pull on that low back as well as that piriformis muscle for sciatica and low back. Switching other sides. While you're here, you could also
Knock that knee over to the opposite side, rotating your head towards the opposite shoulder. That gets a really nice stretch in that low back and that lower part of your pelvis. You could also bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice big squeeze. Rocking side to side is really nice here for that low back. And then next, you're gonna drop your knees from one side to the other. This is really great for that quadratus lumborum muscle, which attaches to those lower part of your pelvis. Rocking side to side. You can also do one knee at a time. So bring one knee into your chest, hold for a few seconds, and then alternate. Just like that. Next, always an option to get your foam roller back out. And what you're going to do with this is place it in the lower part of your lumbar spine, extending nice and over like this. You can literally just hang out here, or you can add some movement, rocking back and forth, creating some extension in that lumbar spine. Another option that might feel really nice is some cat-cows. So getting on all fours, you're going to arch your head up towards the ceiling, creating some nice length in through that back and in through that pelvis. And then tuck and round forward, really pressing up in through your hands, in through those shoulders to create some movement. Child's pose is another option to you, getting nice and low, feeling that nice stretch in that low back, creating some space, opening up those joints. And if you're up for it, I also like downward dog. So place those toes on the floor, bring that booty up, shoulders come back, get some nice length. You can even go side to side with this one. Bicycle pedal the legs, whatever feels good. Feeling that nice stretch in that low back and in the bottom part of that pelvis.